So I wanted to do this on Zoom for a good reason. Now you ready?
Yeah,
I always have conversations with teachers and studio owners all the time.
I just wondered if you had advice for me as like a new teacher and someone with a lot of energy, how I should best direct that energy since I'm here.
Well, you have a very good couple questions, so I'm happy to answer them, and this is why I wanted to record them because this is always like very common questions, and I have some very common answers, which helps people out. And you're obviously just learning how to become a valuable yoga teacher, which is obviously important because people want to come and learn and you want to, you know, give, right? A student will come to class, to your class or whatever, because they're either they want to learn, obviously, or they want to take a class, but obviously they want to be inspired or they want to learn something, right? And if they're not inspired or they're not learning, they'll go take a different class or a different course or a different place. So the big question for a teacher is always, how can you become valuable, right?
Yeah.
So timing wise and flow, it sounds very important because obviously you don't want to sound jittery in the class. You've overcome that. You've got a nice 90-minute flow. So that, helps people feel comfortable, because if like you take a class or you take a movie or anything and it's like, it's this, and then it's pausing and it's not quite flowing. It's like, you're kind of like, does this person know what they're talking about? So
Yeah.
if you have that down, that's good. I mean, it what it does is it sounds confident, and people want to walk into a situation where, yeah, this person is in control of the room, in control of the class. They know what they're talking about, and then my comfort level goes up. Now I'm like, oh yeah, she says touch my forehead of the knee. I'm gonna try. But if you're not sounding confident, then people, am I real? Why would I want to touch my forehead? You know what I mean? They get into this contemplative thing in their mind. So I'm really happy to hear that those are great skills, right? Some of the other ones that I always try to illustrate with teachers is kind of, I call it the 5 C's, and one is, I've said this at the teacher training, uh, communication, and communication to students right from the front when they walk in. Hi, how are you? And usually a student will say, oh, well, I have this and that's wrong with my body, my knee, my face, my whatever, you know. So it starts with communication. You get into the class and you've heard that this person has a bad knee or a surgery knee. So when you're in the class as a teacher, oh, but, and as soon as you come to something about the knee, you might address that person, which now says you're communicating to that person, right? So they're happy. Oh yeah, this is really good for my knee, or you should be careful with your. So not only are you communicating to that one person and they're feeling connected with you, the whole class realizes that you're paying attention. Number one. Two, you're addressing a knee which might affect somebody else's knee. And I'm giving this as rough examples. And
Yeah.
it tells the whole classroom, it's like, wow, she has she's communicating and she's connecting, which is the other C that I talk about, is connecting with the students. And then your value goes up because now it's not like arms up, open your hands, you did it for 90 minutes and you're not paying attention or connecting or communicating to students, that you lose them, and that's a huge value. So that's something that it's something that you always constantly work on, from even when they come in. It's like you learn someone's name, right? Front desk, or new students. And then when you get in class and you say their name, you don't need to say it 45 times, but you say it once. Oh, I feel special. I feel connected. The teacher remembers me. So again, you're bringing value to the students. And then that becomes, oh, I really want to take her class. She's really cool. She remembers this and she gave me corrections. Another C, right? Correction, which I know that takes time as a new teacher to start thinking and feeling about corrections, but there's the simple basics, oh, you're on the wrong foot, grab your foot from the inside, you like standing bow pulling. These are simple corrections it starts with and not really that complicated, but those corrections really, again, tell students that you're paying attention, that you have valuable information, and that you're trying to illustrate it to not only one person, but somebody else might not get it as well. So
Yeah.
becoming valuable is very important. And that's brings establishment to this, to the class, because then someone goes, I really want, and then, oh wow, I'm out for coffee and tea. It's like, I found this really great teacher. And I hear this all the time. Like, I'm at the coffee shop and someone's telling me about a dancing class or a whatever class, any class. And they say the first thing is like, well, I found a really great teacher. And when you hear that, and it's like, that's the best self promotion ever, that's the kind of value you want to bring. And now, oh, you have a really great teacher. I want to come take the really great teacher. So where's the class? What's the time, et cetera, et cetera. So value to the students is those important keys. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, that starts right from the front desk. Are you working at the front desk, like signing people in? Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's really awesome, because they come in and, like I said, you get to learn their name, and sometimes they tell you about their day or their problems or their situations, and then you become aware of it. It's like you kind of have to really pay attention to that and bring that out. You know, if it's a personal thing in class, you don't want to start talking about someone, like some basic stuff about, you know, body parts, knee, be careful, corrections to that extent brings a lot to the studio, to your class. And of course, if you're there to help, these are the things that you, because now all of a sudden, this student that maybe has come 50 times, 100 times, now takes your class because you're new, and they're like, wow, this is really great. And that little news starts to spread out, and they want to bring their friends. And so those are valuable keys.